നമസ്കാരം. CPM ജനറൽ സെക്രട്ടറിയായി തെരഞ്ഞെടുക്കപ്പെട്ട സീതാറാം യെച്ചൂരിയുമായുള്ള പ്രത്യേക അഭിമുഖത്തിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം. ദേശീയ രാഷ്ട്രീയ സാഹചര്യങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ചും പാർട്ടിയുടെ പുതിയ രാഷ്ട്രീയ നയത്തെക്കുറിച്ചും അദ്ദേഹം നമ്മോട് സംസാരിക്കും. Welcome to the talk show, sir.
Thank you.
And let me congratulate you on your re-election as the General Secretary of
Thank you. It's a big responsibility I'll have to discharge.
You had a successful party congress in Hyderabad.
Yes.
What are the main takeaways?
Well, one is that, as I've described, this is the Congress of Unity and a Congress of Determination. I say that because now the party unitedly is decided to embark on a course of giving before the people an alternative policy direction, which in order to make it effective would mean that we'll have to strengthen ourselves much more than what we are at the moment, and our political intervention capacities, consolidate the unity of the left forces, and on that basis forge the unity of left and democratic forces through popular struggles for alternative policies. Because this four-pronged attack on Indian people today is a multi-pronged attack, but of which four are major attacks. One is on the economic livelihood by these economic policies of neoliberalization. Second is the sharpening of communal polarization that is never before seen in our country. Third is now the assaults on all parliamentary institutions and democratic institutions, including the judiciary, as we can see now, and the parliament itself, that is denying people the democratic rights and civil liberties. And fourthly, the complete surrender to US imperialism in global affairs. So these four challenges have to be met and defeated. And that we believe can only be done through alternative policies.
Right.
For that, unleashing popular struggles is very important. That will be the mainstay and main thrust of our party's activities. When it comes to elections, which I'm sure is the question uppermost in your mind, we have said that there is no question of going into any political alliance with any ruling class party like the Congress, etc. But we shall carry forward our objective. Our primary slogan today is to oust this government.
Right.
The control over the state and the machinery is what they are using to advance the RSS fascistic ideology. That can be stopped. For that, it is imperative that they be removed from holding the reins of power. For that, we have said that yes, we shall cooperate with all other forces who want this government to go, without entering into any political alliance with anybody. And that has been always our trademark. As I always say, we don't believe in intellectual property rights, but if at all there are intellectual property rights, one trademark you must give the CPIM is that of outside support. We are never part of any front alliance,
right,
but we'll support in the interest of the country and the people a secular government that will reverse many of these policies. So that will be the main thrust of what we decided.
So, as a common man, can I believe that you will not have any electoral understanding with the Congress?
No, what we have said is no political alliance with the Congress. And then we have said, when the elections come, appropriate electoral tactics will be undertaken, will be adopted by the party to maximize the pooling of anti-BJP votes. That is in accordance with this political line of no political alliance with the Congress. That is very clear.
But this policy will be coming into test in Karnataka for the first time. See, for example, now in Karnataka, the Congress president and even the chief minister has attacked Janata Dal Secular. They may join hands with BJP after elections. So, in a place like Kanakapura or in Hassan, what will be the stand of CPM?
We have said very clearly that the seats where we are contesting,
fine,
to consolidate our own movement,
fine,
and class struggles, etc., and in the seats where the left parties are contesting, we will support the left parties and ourselves naturally. In other seats, our main slogan is defeat the BJP. So depending on the constituency, whichever the force, it could be JDS, it could be Congress, but whichever is the force that can defeat the BJP, that our local comrades, the units, will make the assessment and take that decision. So that is the line that we have worked out.
But there is a confusion actually, outside. Even one of your PB members after the party congress have said that the media has actually misreported what the decision of the party congress
what we decided is there in black and white. That is, it is a resolution of the party Congress. That is there in black and white. So, and that is, I don't think, open to any ambiguity. So that is there clearly. So I think whatever be the interpretation, the decision of the party Congress is there in black and white.
No, what the problem is, in Bengal in 2016, your party had a understanding with the Congress in the assembly elections. Will that kind of understanding happen once again in the 2019?
What I am saying is, it all depends on the concrete situation at the time of elections. Why are you presuming now onwards in advance you want us to declare what we will do? What will happen there? Remember, in India and Indian politics, a lot of water will flow in all our rivers. What will happen, how things will emerge, etc., etc. Wait, when the appropriate time comes, we will declare our appropriate tactics.
Does the CPM has a political flexibility like that to react to an emerging political scenario? And two, does the tweaked political line of yours have that?
This we decided in our 21st Party Congress.
Correct.
In fact, there is a section which is called Adopt Flexible Tactics.
Correct.
Where we have said that as situation can fast change. And I'm sure before the elections come, many such situations, fast changes will happen. That much, given my limited experience in Indian politics, I can tell you such things will happen. So when such things will happen, we have decided, that's a party understanding that we will be flexible to achieve a basic objective of ousting this government in electoral terms. In terms of a movement, struggles, etc., what I have explained to you, to offer that alternative policy direction.
Alternative policy direction with Congress or headed by Congress?
It's a left and democratic alternative policy.
No,
neither. It will be an alternative policy direction to the Congress also. It's a ruling class party. We are giving an alternate policy direction to the Indian people.
Correct.
To mobilize the Indian people and to change the correlation of political forces amongst the Indian people in our favor. So alternative policy directions are the direction in which we believe the country should go. Correct. So it's going to be ours. That is the left and democratic alternative.
Now, you have actually argued for a understanding with the Congress for a long time. Up to the party Congress even you had pressurized that. The Kerala unit and to an extent the Tripura unit actually opposed having any kind of understanding with...
No, please, it's not a question of me going for an understanding with the Congress. The point was that to leave the flexibility of tactics that you're saying at elections, to leave that open. Okay. That is the issue. Right. Nobody is saying that you go with the Congress.
Right.
That question is settled in our party. Nobody is of any opinion saying go with the Congress. The question is, when the elections come, the flexibility that you are talking of, or we are talking about, that flexibility, for that it should be open. Let us see what is the situation. Like in Karnataka you were discussing now. That was the exercise of that flexibility. We gave this slogan, defeat the BJP.
Right. So you don't rule out a 2016 kind of scenario in Bengal?
I'm saying nothing can be ruled in or ruled out. On the actual situation emerging at that time, we will take the appropriate tactical line. So it is nothing to discuss now. Let the elections come. Whenever elections come, then we'll decide what to do, like we decided what to do in Karnataka.
In Tripura, you have lost power. In Bengal, in the near future, you don't expect to come back. Kerala is a dicey position.
Why don't we expect to come back?
Losing your parliamentary positions in 2004, you had 43. Then 2009, you had 16. Now it is down
Between
to
2004 and 2014, in terms of electoral performance, there has been a decline.
Right.
And a sharp decline that we have also noted.
Right.
At our 21st Congress, where I became the General Secretary. Right. Before that, this happened. Now the question is to emerge from that. So what are the methods through which we will be able to do that?
Okay.
That is what the party's Congress decided, and that political line of the party is there in black and white.
See, Mamata Banerjee is trying to forge a federal front. She is trying to talk to all the regional parties. She is trying to bring in Telangana Rashtra Samiti and Odisha BJD and everyone. Do you think a United Front type or a National Front type of government with the support of Congress is possible in this scenario?
You see, in no scenario in India, please understand, that is my completely firm understanding on the basis of my experience, that you cannot have any all India prescription for India politics. Always in India you have various different parties which have different spheres of influence in various regions. Any front you form at the all India level is of no consequence in most of the regions in India. So India, you please understand, India is a grand coalition of various forces and parties. So all sorts of talks that are happening, will there be an all India United Front under Congress leadership and all this, that is not your real India. Tell me in your own experience, 1996, Devagowda United Front government. When was the United Front formed?
After the election.
After the election. In 2004, Manmohan Singh government. When was the UPA formed?
After the election.
After the elections. That is Indian reality. So whatever calls you give now, nothing of that is going to be of any consequence. The reality will be that post-election, what is the numbers and what is the situation that emerges. And pre-election, there will be regional. There will be regional, understandings.
Correct.
And that will be the most decisive.
So only after the elections you pursue a scene of having the unity of the anti-BJP forces?
No, after the elections, what emerges could be a new form of some arrangement. Like United Front was an arrangement. UPA was another arrangement. But what will happen now in the run-up to the election is at the regional levels, there will be understandings that will develop between the various regional parties that have influences. And that is happening.
And where do you stand in that? Your understanding?
Wherever we are there, we will stand, and then wherever we think in that particular state, with that sort of a combination, with which we can also advance, that we'll take a decision at the time. As I said, all these things will take, nothing is going to gel till the election time comes.
No, in 1999, when Mr. Surjit was the General Secretary, the famous Sonia Gandhi's comment of 272. At that time, the CPM virtually ruled out a third front. Now, the talks of a federal front is once again happening.
CPM never ruled out any front or the other. What we have said, depending on the exact situation, what we are saying is there cannot be a national alternative on the basis of a regional parties coalition. That can never happen.
Before the elections.
Before the elections. Now, after the election, what are the numbers, what will come, etc., that we'll see. So that's what I said. In India, please understand one thing, the pluralistic society that we have is also throwing up a pluralistic polity.
Correct.
The days of any monolithic things are ending, which is what the RSS is trying to impose now. Because of the 2014 verdict that they got, they are under the illusion that, a single party majority, etc., they'll get. But what is happening, and that will, I think, intensify further, the regional, groupings and regional arrangements will be made. And subsequently, post-election, some sort of an arrangement will emerge at the center.
And who should lead that?
That depends on the numbers then.
Because...
96, the Congress was the ruling party till then. It lost the election. And having lost the election, lost people's mandate, it could not enter the government through the back door.
Correct.
So the Congress party was then forced to support the United Front from the outside. In 2004, amongst all the parties, the Congress party emerged as the biggest. So the biggest party led the coalition. So that is what, it all depends on the numbers.
You can't rule out Congress, which is the dominant force after BJP. It's actually the Congress which is taking the BJP. So how can you just take apart Congress from all these things? When you say that we don't have a political alliance with Congress.
Correct.
Unless you have a political alliance with the Congress, how are you going to stop it? Because you are hardly in 3 states. Of which 2 you are...
Why? We stop it from a very simple point of view. In Rajasthan, in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh, in all these places. Wherever our strongholds and pockets are there we fight. In the rest of the places, they defeat the BJP. I mean, as clear as that, like what we are doing in Karnataka.
You became a CC member when you were 33.
31.
31, maybe 30, 31, 33. So now in your Central Committee or in the Politburo, you don't have much representation to the youngsters.
In this party Congress, we have inducted 20 new Central Committee members. That is a record of sorts for the CPM. That is 1/5 of the CC, I mean more than 1/5 of the Central Committee has been changed and 20 new members have come in. And that has reduced the average age of the Central Committee substantially. But it should reduce further. I am not justifying. It should reduce further because India itself is a young nation, is a young country.
Dalit forces are emerging like anything all over the country. CPM is giving them wholehearted support to them. But CPM doesn't have a Dalit face to say in the Politburo.
Yeah. You know,
there were talks in the Hyderabad Congress that maybe Mr. A.K. Balan or someone from Kerala will be included in the PB.
Well, there is a Dalit included in the Central Committee. I mean, you're talking of the PB.
PB.
You know, I mean, in this time, if you notice in the Central Committee, the proportion of Dalit comrades has risen. I mean, it risen, but we would like it to rise more. There is no doubt about it. But this is a process that is taking a little time. Communist Party leadership is not a symbolic leadership. It is a leadership that emerges through struggles and movements, and that is emerging. A large number of our Dalit comrades have come. And in the Central Committee, the Dalit comrades are some of the most militant ones. I mean, one who was very severely attacked in Bengal in this recent local body election, Ramchandra Dome, who was also a member of the parliament earlier. No, I mean, so all these comrades are there. I mean, it's only a matter of time and very soon. So I would want it sooner. So let us see how much, fast it will happen.
Now, what's your opinion about identity politics, like Dalit identity, this minority, the Muslim identity? I mean, can the CPM just wash away that?
No. Our idea to the identity politics is very clear. Identity politics has to be part of the democratic movement and the democratic struggle to achieve their objectives also. By themselves, individually, we believe that they cannot, because they can be isolated and, separated and isolated, unless they are merged with the democratic movement, and which is what is happening. So identity politics cannot remain within the confine of that identity alone, espousing their cause and their thing correct, but they'll have to merge with the movements, the democratic movement, and that is happening. Child rights, the question of, sexual abuse, the question of Dalit rights, the question of tribals, all of that are today, working together with the democratic and the left movements, and which is a good sign. So what is happening is you have the left movement, you have the independent people's movement organizations on specific identity issues. They are merging together and a new synergy of people's movements is emerging. Our objective is to strengthen that process and that synergy.
You talked about tribal rights. What happened in Tripura?
You see, in Tripura there are two, the detailed analysis will come this way. But two major factors we must notice, you see. One is that because of the left front rule there, Tripura, I hope you don't mind, has overtaken Kerala in terms of being the most literate state. Kerala had that distinction so far in India, but Tripura overtook that. The youth of Tripura, educated, skilled, they had aspirations. In that small state, in that northeastern state, the avenues for such employment opportunities or utilizing schools are very, very limited. Now that was a real, a real problem. How does this youth be productively employed? Their aspirations grew because of the left front rule. But now to productively employ them. And the objective reality was such that possibilities did not expand in Tripura. I cannot expand in any of the northeastern states unless there is a very active intervention and help by the center.
So you said that the aspirations of the youth and the government could not reach out to them. Do you think to an extent the left or the CPM has become outdated in the...
Not at all. Not at all. On the contrary, the left and CPM being outdated, why was the youth? Why were their capacities and creativity expanded so much under the left rule? Never happened anywhere. Even today it doesn't happen in other northeastern states. So it's not that left is outdated. It is that today we must understand a big issue, and that is the essence of this entire center-state relations issue, which Kerala has taken the lead, particularly the Finance Commission thing, where now the central government, depending on the character of the state government, can decide to either squeeze the resources or not. Now this is a very, very big danger that's coming to our federal polity.
Coming back to the politics, any front which want to take on BJP needs to garner at least a minimum of 125 seats to get outside support. I mean, that is the scenario.
In the parliament?
Parliament. Do you foresee Congress reviving itself from this position?
Well, that again, as I said, remember, Devagowda was the Prime Minister.
You have been going around the country like...
Devagowda is the Prime Minister with 42 MPs.
By default?
No, default or whatever fault. That is India. That's why I'm saying, please remember, India is India. It can throw up many surprises. And with 145 seats in 2004, who would have thought in 272 the Congress will lead a government?
Correct.
But it happened. Now with 280 odd seats, who would have seen that the BJP would have collapsed like this in terms of people's perception? So India is India, please remember that. So what will happen today is that they will be, I am very confident, that the sentiment, the countdown of the Modi government has begun, and that by the time the elections will come, the countdown so that the rocket can take off, at that time, that will happen. And that taking off would be a people's victory.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.